What if I told you the worst day of your life might not be the end of your story? What if the thing that looks buried is actually being prepared for resurrection? Because that's what Easter is really about. Not just a holiday, not just tradition, not just a cross and an empty tomb. Easter is about the moment it looked like God had lost, and then everything changed. Let's go back for a second. Good Friday wasn't poetic. It was brutal. Jesus was betrayed, beaten, mocked, crucified. The disciples thought they were following the Messiah, the Savior, the King, and now he was hanging on a cross. When he said, "It is finished," it didn't sound victorious. It sounded final. And then came Saturday, the quiet day. No miracles, no teaching, no movement, just silence. Can you imagine how that must have felt? The confusion, the disappointment, the fear, everything they believed in felt buried. And maybe you know that feeling. Maybe you've had your own Saturday. The job that didn't work out, the relationship that ended, the diagnosis you didn't expect, the prayer that felt unanswered, that in-between space where you don't see God moving and you don't understand what he's doing. Easter doesn't skip that part. It doesn't pretend the silence wasn't heavy. But here's what we forget. Just because heaven is quiet doesn't mean heaven is inactive. Saturday looked still on the surface, but God was working beneath it. And then Sunday came. The women went to the tomb early that morning, not expecting victory, not expecting resurrection. They were expecting more grief. But instead, they heard the words that changed history. He is not here. He has risen. The stone wasn't rolled away so Jesus could get out. It was rolled away so we could see in. So we could see that death didn't win, sin didn't win, darkness didn't win, love won, hope won, God won. The resurrection wasn't just a miracle, it was a declaration. A declaration that no grave is too sealed, no situation too final, no story too broken. In John 11:25, Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. Not I will be, not I was. I am." Resurrection isn't just something he did, it's who he is. And that means something for you. It means that the parts of your life that feel dead, the dream you gave up on, the faith that feels weak, the passion that burned out, those aren't beyond him. Because resurrection is what God does best. Think about it. The greatest miracle in history happened in the dark. No audience, no applause, no spotlight, just quiet, unstoppable power. And maybe God is doing something like that in your life right now. It may look silent, it may look still, but beneath the surface, something is shifting. Easter reminds us that silence isn't abandonment, waiting isn't rejection, and delay isn't defeat. It reminds us that endings can become beginnings, that what looks finished might just be the setup for something greater. The cross looked like failure. The tomb looked like finality, but both were part of the plan. And if God can turn a crucifixion into a resurrection, he can handle your situation. He can redeem your past. He can restore what feels lost. He can breathe life into what feels buried. And here's the deeper beauty of Easter. Jesus didn't just rise to prove power. He rose to offer promise. Promise that sin is forgiven. Promise that grace is available. Promise that death is not the end. Promise that eternity is real. The resurrection means this life isn't all there is. Your pain isn't permanent, your story isn't over, and your hope isn't misplaced. Because if the grave couldn't hold him, your current season can't hold you either. So if you're in a Saturday right now, hold on. Sunday is still coming. If you feel buried, God is still working. If you feel forgotten, he has not left you. Easter is proof that the darkest chapter can still turn into the greatest victory. He is risen. And because he is risen, there is hope. There is restoration, there is purpose, there is life, and resurrection is still happening.